Matt Plumer isn't just a financial coach. He's someone who's rebuilt his whole life from the ground up, from battling addiction and debt to helping agents eliminate financial chaos through systems. Matt, welcome to the Leverage Lounge.
It's fantastic, Mike.
So Matt, tell us what your business looks like today. Obviously, you overcame a lot of obstacles, but tell us where you are today and we can dive into some of the other stuff.
Yeah, so ultimately at the core, what I help people do is build a healthy relationship between business finances and personal finances that empowers them to make decisions to create stress-free wealth. And we do that through a 3-step process of budgeting, banking, and bookkeeping. And so our business is financial coaching, one-on-one and also group. We also have a bookkeeping business called Stress Free Books that we help real estate agents, team leaders, broker owners grow and scale their business and personal finances through those systems that they build a relationship with. And we give them the vehicle and the platform to do it, whether it's a one-on-one environment like this, it's group, or it's just simply, hey, give me the facts and I want to review it. And then tell me or coach me through what I'm looking at on this profit and loss statement.
That's good, man. I've heard you say that this is about realizing abilities. Like, what does that mean? What's the difference between not knowing what to do and actually knowing what to do?
Yeah, I think ultimately, most people that are going to be listening to this podcast don't have a problem making money. And as we all know, we have no problem spending the money. We generally don't have an income problem. Now, we have a consistency challenge, but we don't have generally an income problem. We sure as heck know how to spend money, so we probably have a spending problem. And so just helping people build that relationship, because most people don't make as much as they think, spend more than they care to admit, and that leads them to be behind on taxes and or retirement.
But it's different from a financial advisor. I mean, you're not like telling them what to invest in. You're just saying, how much of your income would you like to invest? And then let's carve that out and make sure it's going there. Is that what that is?
So, financial advisors that are at different brokerages or custodians like Charles Schwab and Fidelity, or they have their own wealth management, that is definitely not me. What I do is I help the entrepreneur create a path of money so that it's easier to get it to those types of people. If I was coaching you, I wouldn't say, hey, you need to go buy this fund or this stock or Now, what I will say is, hey, Mike, do you guys have an IRA? Do you have a Roth IRA? Do your kids have anything? What do you have as the business? And we can set that stuff up and then ask you, man, like, do you want to self-manage this, or do we want to find someone that can walk you over the next 30 years and manage it for you? And so that's where I can help the client navigate some of that, because a lot of people don't ask the right questions. And when it comes to the fees that the brokerage houses or the financial advisors charge, like, we can put that all into our matrix. This person's going to be able to help you get to where you want to go based on their investment strategy. But if I'm working with you, hey man, we got to carve out $10,000 a month and we need to send it over here so that the advisor can go invest it, or teach you how to go invest it yourself.
Yeah. I mean, the truth is, real estate agents, I don't know, I guess most business owners don't get this kind of training, but especially real estate agents. Most real estate agents come from a 9-to-5. They come from some other industry prior to coming into entrepreneurship through the real estate industry, and they have no idea what to do. And it could be a very frustrating thing. It's obviously frustrating to not be making money and you don't have anything to invest or save. But it's even more frustrating, or maybe equally, I don't know, but it's frustrating to be making the money and then not knowing kind of what to do with it, or the money going in places that you can't track. It takes a toll on your mental health. So I want to go deeper than money for a second and really kind of talk about mental health. How do you feel that financial instability actually impacts mental health?
It truly impacts everything other than your higher power. Money is the only thing that touches everything. Everything in your background used to be money. Everything in my background used to be money. Everything in our closets was money at some point, right? Our cars used to be money. And so we just don't have this relationship with it, that if we don't plan the money before it comes in, it's gone. Like, it's already spent.
How would you say your lowest financial moments affected your mindset today?
I've had a few low financial moments, both when I didn't have money and I did have money. The lowest moments that I can remember, I always went against my core values. Like whenever anything bad happened with money, or I didn't have any money, or I made a bad decision, honestly, I went against what I knew what I should have done. Years ago, a decade ago, when we were uncovering that we had $500,000 worth of debt and going through a physical transformation that led to our financial transformation, like if I say it out loud, I was like, man, I knew I shouldn't have been buying that stuff. I knew I shouldn't have been having those car payments or buying that thing or doing that stuff or gambling on this. I didn't have any money.
Mm.
But it was the dopamine, it was the addiction that I was chasing that I thought was going to get me to the other thing. I mean, I lived a life of trying to out earn my spending. And I think if we just identify that and we run everything through those filters, we can avoid a lot of unnecessary stress that we bring upon ourselves.
No question. Yeah, debt doesn't just drain your bank account, it drains your clarity.
I think ultimately, if you say, what is debt? Let's just call it what it is. It's money going towards obligations versus opportunities. It's already been spent. We can't get it back. And it generally, other than real estate, goes down in value. Debt is such a crippling thing because it takes our greatest wealth building tool and throws it at things that happened in the past that's going down in value versus at opportunities and says, hey, whether it's a capital fund, whether it's an investment opportunity, whether it's a real estate deal, or whether it's stocks, mutual funds and bonds and treasuries and all that stuff, it's like those are opportunities, man. And so, but if our money is going towards other things, it can't go there, and it's going to always force us to sell another house.
What patterns are keeping agents stuck financially? A lot of these cycles can be true for even high income earners. This isn't just the agents who are just like kind of making enough to try to get by. This is like people who are making really good money and still have more month at the end than money.
I work with some of the biggest operators in the real estate space. And I work with a single mom that sells 12 houses a year. They have the exact same problems, just different zeros and different commas. The flip doesn't switch until I can't make the budget look any cleaner or better. 3 bank accounts versus 5 bank accounts doesn't make it better until the person inside flips their switch. Like, we just don't have an income problem. We don't have a year over year problem. We have a month to month or a quarter to quarter problem. And that's simply because the majority of real estate agents, high income earners, will have these big ebbs and flows, and all of the money is either going backwards or they spend and they pay off everything and they don't fix their habits. And then 90 days later, they've racked up another $15,000 worth of credit card bills.
Right back in
because they haven't fixed the system, or they haven't fixed what's broken. They're addressing smoke versus fire.
It's a scary thought. I mean, I personally have been there, made more money in years than I knew that I would ever make. And I look at the end of the year and I'm like, you see it on paper, right?
I got to go make more. I got to go make more.
Well, that, and you can't even hardly believe the number that's on the paper that says how much you made. You're like, I made that? Well, where is it? Who's got it? And so you're saying it like your income can change, but if your habits don't, you stay stuck. It becomes a repetitive cycle.
And that is across the board for everything. That's not just money. Money is so easy when you have the right habit.
So what are the 3 steps to create stress-free wealth, especially in today's unpredictable market?
So I break it into budgeting, banking, and bookkeeping.